So the fourth question is, what is the total revenue from all others? So how can we find the total revenue? So let's take a look at our data. So in the ER diagram, I don't have anything called total revenues here or anything to do with revenues. But one thing is there, I have quantity ordered. So I know how many people have ordered what. And I know the price. So the quantity that has been ordered times the price will give me the revenues, right? And that's what I'm going to use. So for that, I need to have products. I need to have quantity. The order details. Okay, total revenue. But, let me create, I can do just these two. But what I'm going to do is to create one basically with order details and products. And if I want to change something, I can change later. Okay, that's what I'm planning to do. And I'm going to call this an intermediate query because actually when I put these two together, I'm going to get the data. Let me show you how I'm going to get this revenues first. And I'm going to use that to do other things. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to create a query design. And what are the tables that I want? I want from here, I want the order details and products, right? So I'm going to use order details. I'm going to bring it here. And then the products, I'm going to bring it here. It's already got the relationship, so no problems. I can do whatever I need to do. Okay, so let's do one thing here. I'm going to bring the product description just to see what products got sold and what products are going to give me revenues. And this one I can pretty much do later on. I can use this for other things. So I'm going to bring the product description. Now, I want the quantity ordered and product price for the revenue. So to do that, I'm going to click on an empty cell here. This is where I'm going to get the revenues. I'm going to take the product of product price and quantity ordered. So product price times the quantity ordered is what I want to do. So how do I do that? For that, I need to build an expression builder. So I'm going to use this here, right here. You can see it called builder. I'm going to click on that. Here, I have this database here. So I'm going to use the data. So I'm going to click the right side. There's a small button. And I'm going to click the same thing next to the tables. And this gives me all the tables. So what do I need right now? I need from order details. I want the quantity ordered. So I'm click on order details. I see quantity ordered. I double click on quantity ordered and it's going to show here. So it's going to show here as I'm looking for the entity quantity ordered, which is in the table order details. Okay, that's what I'm showing. So it's going to be order details, bang, quantity ordered. So when computer scientists call this exclamation point as bang, which basically tells that is from the table. Okay, now I'm going to hit on Shift 8, which is the star button, which is multiplication. Now what do I need? I want a price. So I go to the products. I'm going to double click on product price. This is exactly what I need. So on quantity ordered times product price. And I'm going to click OK. And I see this here. EXPR1 order details quantity ordered times products times product price. So quantity ordered times product price. I have this EXPR1. So if I run this, I'm going to see the EXPR1 of everything. But actually the EXPR1 is a revenue, right? So let me change this EXPR1 to revenue. How do I do that? I go back to my design view and then I'm going to highlight EXPR1 only, not the colon. I don't want to highlight the colon. Now I'm going to type revenue. So it's going to be revenue colon and then this expression. Now if I run it, I see product description and revenue. This is exactly what I want. And I'm going to add other things later on, but I have the revenue. Now I can find the total revenue and all that stuff. So I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to save this as an intermediate query. The reason I'm doing as an intermediate query is because I didn't still get the answers. I'm going to take, I need to go for another step to get the answer. So that's why I'm calling it an intermediate query, and I'm going to click on OK. And I have this right now. Now let's go to the question. I want the total revenue from all orders. So I'm going to create a query design. But now instead of using the tables, I'm going to use the intermediate query. So I'm going to simply bring the intermediate query here. So now I can have product description and then the revenue. Now, I want to find the total of product description. So for instance, I have 6 products, let's say. I want to get the total revenue of each of these products by that category. So to do that, I'm going to use what is called the totals here. So I click on this totals. Now I get another line here which says group by the product description. Exactly what I want. I want to group them by the product description. And in the revenue, I want the sum. So I want the total. If I run this now, it is going to show me these are the products and these are my revenues. For each product, this is my revenue. And the total revenue is the total of all this. Okay, so this is my answer. So I'm going to exit out of that and I'm going to call this answer 4. Okay, now let's do 5. I want to 5 is what is the revenue from Michigan? So now I need to change something. I need to add the state to my intermediate query. And then from there I can go to the answer. So I'm going to open up the intermediate query. Okay, so I'm going to double click on it. And it is going to show the data. So I'm going to click on view and I'm going to see the design view. So in the design view, what I'm going to do is to add state, but I cannot add state here. I need to add some tables. So I can do this. I can bring the customer table. Let me move these things around a bit so I have all of them. I bring the customer table because that is where the state is there, because revenue from Michigan, right? So I need the state. But the problem is nothing is related. I have to bring the orders to make that relationship. So I need to bring that here. Now I have all the relationships. Now everything is good. Now I can add the state. Okay, so this is the revenue from Michigan. So what I did was to change the intermediate query. And if I run this now, I'm going to have the state as well. Okay, so I get out of this and then I click on yes. Intermediate query is saved with the state. Now let's do the answer for the 5, which is what is the revenue from Michigan? The revenue from Michigan, so for that I'm going to create a query design and I'm going to use the intermediate query again and I'm going to bring the state and the revenue, and in the state I'm going to criteria is going to be quote MI quote. Okay, so if I run this, I'm going to get the revenue for Michigan. But if I want to get the total of the revenue of the Michigan, I can always go back. And then hit on totals. That means I'm going to group by this and I'm going to sum it. And now if I run it, I'm going to see the total of Michigan. So either way I can do it. Okay, so that is going to be my answer. Yes, and this is my answer for 5. So let's do the 6. Update Thomas Wilhelm from 573 Main Boulevard to 10 Abbey Road. So Thomas William is moved. So if I want to do that, so where is Thomas William? That's in the customer, right? So I'll double click on customer. I see Thomas William here. So Abbey Road, it's already there. So actually what I did was to change this. So let's change this from Abbey Road to 573 Main Boulevard. It's the other way around because I think I changed this before. That's the reason it is showing it as Abbey Road. But I'm going to show now how to change it from Abbey Road to back to Main Boulevard. You know, it's the same thing that you can do, right? So to do that, but I don't want to click here and then change it, type it here. I don't want to do that because that's what you're prohibited in Microsoft Access. So I'm going to get out of this. To do that, I need to have a query again. So I'm going to create a query design. And all I need is the customer table, of course, nothing else, because this is where I have all this address and things like that. Okay. So what am I going to do? I want to change the name of this Thomas William, the street address. So what I'm going to do is to double click on last name, first name, and then the street address. In the street address, I need to change the street address, right? So to do that, I'm going to use what is called an update query. See this update query? So I'm going to click on update. When I click on update, it's going to show a new line here, says update to. So what am I going to update to? I'm going to update the street, and that is going to be quote, because it's a text again or a string again, quote 573 space Main Boulevard. And then I'm going to have the quote again. This is what I'm going to update to. But I have a criteria. So if I leave this like this, and then if I run it, it's going to update everybody's street address. I don't want that. I want only the particular person. So I need to have a criteria. The criteria is the last name is Wilhelm. So Wilhelm, Wilhelm. And then the first name criteria is Thomas, Thomaz. So you got to be exactly correct here. You have to type the name exactly correct, otherwise it won't get updated. Okay. So now that I have done this, I have changed the criteria and the main thing. This is what I'm updating to. I get out of this, and then it says you want to change. I say yes, and then here it is going to be answer 6, and I click OK. See this answer 6 here? So now let's look at what is happening. So customer, still has 10 Abbey Road. I'm going to get out of that. If I double click on this answer, it is going to say you're about to run an update query that will modify data. I'm going to say yes, I want to do that. Now it says you're about to update one row only Thomas William, nobody else's. And I say yes. It is already updated now. So now if I go to the customer table, see this? Instead of 10 Abbey Road, I have 573 Main Boulevard. So that's what I want. So I got answer 5. Answer 6 is what is the total revenue in 2003? I want the total revenue in 2003. Okay, so where is my total revenue? I'm going to go to the intermediate query again. Okay, so create query design and then intermediate query. So let me do this in my next video because I'm running short of time here. So I'm going to do that in the next video. So go to the next video and you will see it. Okay.